mocking him as nothing more than a weak ghost from 60 years ago. In one swift motion, Lanchen's blade flashed, and the spirit was sliced clean in half. He screamed in rage and pride, declaring that the more he was hurt, the stronger he became. His berserker skill was feeding on his fury. But before his madness could rise any higher, Yoon appeared in front of him like a shadow, his blade already piercing through Lanchen's chest. Lanchen froze. The man he once called master looked down at him, eyes cold and unfeeling. Yoon's voice echoed like judgment itself. "I know all your weaknesses." Infuriated, Lanchen spat curses, but Yoon continued without emotion. The berserker class has two fatal flaws. First, low defense. Before Lanchen could react, Yoon vanished again. In his place appeared the undead spirit of Dingay, swinging a massive axe. Lanchen turned, roaring, and cut the spirit in two. But at that moment, energy arrows rained from behind. A volley of spectral arrows pierced his back, forcing him to his knees. Now surrounded by a growing army of Yoon's undead minions, Lanchen realized the bitter truth. His attack and speed meant nothing when even skeletons could wound him. Enraged, Lanchen spun in a whirlwind slash, wiping out the undead around him in a single, thunderous strike. "I just need to kill every last one of you," he screamed. But as the dust settled, he looked up and his eyes widened. Across the cliffs, more undead appeared, hundreds of them, standing behind Yoon like a dark army of shadows. "The second weakness," Yoon said coldly, "is your lack of wide-range attacks." Besides his basic slashes and whirlwind spin, Lanchen had no way to deal with such a massive army. Then the final trap was revealed. Behind Yoon, an endless tide of undead emerged, spectral soldiers, spirits, and skeletal beasts, all filling the battlefield. Yoon's mana regenerated faster than Lanchen could swing, creating an infinite army that would never stop coming. Lanchen roared in defiance. "Who said I don't have wide-range attacks?" With a furious glare, he unleashed his ultimate skill, Blood Rain, a crimson storm of destruction. But Yoon calmly raised his hand, summoning colossal ghostly shields from the ground, blocking every drop. The ghostly form of Xiao Benben appeared behind Lanchen, staring at him with sorrow. Yoon's voice softened. "Do you remember? You and Benben once fought side by side, covering each other's flaws. The shield that once protected you is now the sword that strikes you down." Lanchen's fury twisted into madness. "I don't need anyone. I've ruled for 60 years while you rotted in a grave." He leapt back towards the city, shouting, "My family will fight for me! Ding Jian! Ding Qiang! Ding Shun! Come out!" He landed with a triumphant smirk, but before he could speak, Yoon appeared behind him in silence. One clean strike, slash. Lanchen's arm was severed at the shoulder. He howled in disbelief as his three sons stood frozen on the rooftops, staring in horror at their broken father. Panic filled their eyes. Ding Jian trembled, unable to breathe. Ding Shun stuttered, "How can we fight someone even father can't defeat?" Their hesitation sent Lanchen spiraling into insanity. "Useless brats! I'll do it myself!" He lunged at them, grabbing Ding Shun by the throat. The terrified boy gasped, "Father, what are you doing?" Lanchen's face twisted with madness. "Everything you have is because of me. Your only purpose is to keep me alive." Then came the horror. Lanchen began to drain his own son's life force, ignoring his screams. His other sons froze in shock as their brother's body withered before their eyes. "Hold Yoon back," Lanchen roared, "or I'll drain you next." Before they could move, dozens of mirror shards shimmered into the air, blocking their escape. From those portals poured Yoon's entire undead army, surrounding the family from all sides. The ground shook as the spirits charged. Lanchen's screams mixed with the roars of the undead as he was torn apart by blades, claws, and ghostly magic. In desperation, he unleashed a massive explosion, blowing apart the field in a storm of dust and debris. When the smoke cleared, Lanchen stood alone, bloodied and trembling. The once mighty warrior could barely hold his weapon. Yoon appeared above him, calm and cruel. Tired already? Then came the final blow of despair. Behind Yoon, 3 new undead rose from the ground, Lanchen's own sons, their eyes glowing blue, faces blank and lifeless. Yoon smirked. Despite your youthful look, you're still just an old man inside. Enjoy your family reunion. Lanchen's mind shattered. His legs gave out as he whispered, "My children." He tried to run, but Yoon's army surrounded him. The undead forms of his sons attacked mercilessly, their blades cutting through the man who once called himself invincible. As his life faded, Lanchen muttered broken words, "Comrades, master, children." Yoon stepped closer, his voice cold and final. "You could have had everything. Loyalty, family, honor." Lanchen's body crumbled to the ground, lifeless and still. Yoon looked down, surrounded by his undead army, his face devoid of emotion. Where you could have had love, you chose hatred. Now, face the end you created. And with that, the storm was over.